Welcome to the Digital Chemical Playbook podcast. I'm Leilani.
And I'm Florian.
This podcast is brought to you by the digital team at DKSH Performance Materials. The podcast is for anyone interested in the digital transformation in the chemical industry.
Well, we want this to be an engaging community where people can learn, discuss ideas, and support each other. On each episode, we will explore different topics related to the ongoing digital transformation within our chemical market.
Enjoy the show.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the show and to our podcast. Today, we are thrilled and very honored to receive Pam Walker to our podcast. Pam is the Director and General Manager for Product Insight at UL Solution. So as you know, UL Solution is one of the leading platforms of our industry. We are extremely excited to hear from her vision on digital transformation in our industry and to take that discussions with her. Hello, Pam. How are you?
Hello, Florian. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be part of this podcast series. As you said, I work for the software division of UL Solutions, and we have a plethora of software solutions that address the needs in the chemical industry. But specifically, as you said, I work for the product insights business, and that includes the Prospector platform that digitally connects the supply chain through information and insights that's crucial really to product development. It's funny, I have been part of the chemical industry, Florian, since 1994, if you can believe it.
I know. Don't want to tell you what I was doing in 1994.
Well, I worked for chemical distributors and software providers. And, I was actually part of the first pass of this digitization of the chemical industry in the late 90s, if you can believe that. I joined an e-commerce startup. And let's just say in the late 90s, early 2000s, maybe the chemical industry wasn't quite ready for that.
Maybe not, yeah.
Yeah, I did go on to implement internal digital solutions for a chemical distributor. And then, lo and behold, it led me to what is now UL Solutions and the Prospector platform. And I'm super excited to talk about the current and future state of this digital transformation in the chemical industry today.
Amazing. That sounds great. Thanks a lot, Pam. So, as you say, you're a prospector in our industry, in our chemical world, and specifically in chemical distribution. UL Prospector is quite recognized as being the biggest, or say the leading platform in the chemical industry. We collaborate ourselves, DKSH, with UL Prospector for more than 5 years, I guess. We work together on chemicals, plastics, ingredients, even in food. So, based on this outlook you have into the industry and your deep experience, can you tell us, Pam, what is your vision on the digitalization in the chemical industry?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think the key message here is the continuous evolution of it. Prospector keeps evolving and keeping the industry connected with the data, information, and insights that's needed. And together, like with UL Solutions, we have a suite of software that keeps evolving, really from the design phase and helping suppliers and distributors reach their customers, the manufacturers, and then for the manufacturers in the material discovery phase, all the way through helping the manufacturers get the products on the retail shelf. So the focus is enabling transparency in the supply chain so that we can have compliant products produced and make sure that they're, discovered, managed, and properly handled through end of life. So it's really interesting, though, when you look at that, because the amount of data needed keeps evolving and growing.
A lot. Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like the amount of regulations, retailer requirements, corporate goals have really put a lot of pressure. I'm sure that you guys have seen, right?
Yeah, definitively. Across our 4 industries and also in the different markets, this is something that is keep evolving, and this is becoming one of the best and the biggest challenge in the digitalization process.
Absolutely. So what we've done, in Prospector is we've augmented and enhanced some of the data that we have, like performance plus compliance data, to make it actionable to help solve some of these, questions in order to, make great products. And so we're setting up to address kind of beyond search and
Yeah.
discovery process, right? Into managing data through product information management and managing those insights to ensure that, compliant and safe, sustainable products, actually get to that market.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe I will ask you a question about that and that experience and this is the knowledge you've been developing. I mean, if today you go to a trade show, you ask someone, a formulator or an R&D person, and say, okay, which platform do you use to source ingredient or to look for a formulation? I can bet that most of them will say, I'll go first to UL Prospector. My question to you, Pam, is acknowledging to this, what is your secret sauce? So maybe what did you do to become at that point the reference in the industry?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think it's the evolution of the site and to ensure that we have the trusted
Yeah,
amount of data and that we have a good partnership, both with supplier, distributor, and manufacturer. And that partnership is really based on providing information needed, to fuel business in the chemical industry. And our partnership with DKSH as an example, I mean, it is a great example of that, of how we're working together to really fuel business for the chemical industry. And if I go in and I look at how we've transitioned, I mean, the journey has been really, really interesting. And if I could talk a minute on that,
yeah.
so I'm going to date myself
Okay,
because
go ahead.
in the late 90s, I was talking about before when I worked for that chemical distributor, I brought a whole filing cabinet full of paper and scanned in the paper into the computer, the technical data sheets.
Wow.
And I spent a lot of time doing it. This is a real story. And at that time in our plastics industry, it wasn't on a website, it was on a book. Okay,
Yeah,
so you talk about, prospector and the evolution and how we stay relevant and the right choice is having and being where people are with the information needed to formulate and to reach customers. And so first step, hey, let's get all these paper on the computer, right?
amazing.
And then it starts to transition to, okay, all this stuff is on the computer. What are we going to do with it?
What do we do now?
How to make it work for us to be actionable, to make decisions, inform, comply, and meet strategic goals and increase efficiencies. And so it's really interesting to see it evolve and how it really can be used, it being the digitization and all the digital profiles we have online to help meet and solve business problems, like bringing target clean, compliant products to market or reducing risk of reformulation. And so as we see it, we evolve with it and we evolve with our customers as well.
Correct.
Yeah. There's a big, I mean, I don't know if you've heard now, okay, first you got your documents online, and the next is you're extracting information online to make informative decisions, right? Making it actionable. And the
Yeah,
next big transition from that would probably be AI,
correct.
right? And it's funny though, AI is definitely a tool, and I want to say that it's not the end all be all. I did see an infographic from Demand Stage. It was a
Mm-hmm.
graph called "The Road to 100 million users." Okay, and
Yeah.
this infographic had Chat GPT got to 100 million users in 2 months. Can you
Correct.
believe
Amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, can you guess, Florian, what Netflix was? How long it took Netflix to get to 100 million users?
Oh, I will be ridiculous. Maybe I would say, I don't know, like 2 years?
18 years, according to this
18
demand stage.
years. Wow.
Yeah, so maybe the chemical industry will get there faster, right? But the point I make about this transition is that no matter what you use, it's only as good as the data you put in, right? And
Yeah.
the data harmonization and really making it work for you in a structured format, and that's what we really excel at Prospector.
That's crazy. And from what you're saying, when you talk about generative AI and you think about yourself scanning the books to get the digital version of your product, what anything that can be done from AI today was just not, we could not even imagine what was going to happen 20 years ago, right? I mean,
Right.
that's fantastic to see the evolution and to see also how, as you say, all partners are kind of like collaborating. It's an ecosystem actually, right? From the
Mhm.
platform, the manufacturer, the supplier, the distributors, we all of us on the same boat working on transforming and digitally transforming that industry. That's actually extremely insightful. From everything that you're saying and on the evolution you've seen from the past until now, we can say that in a way, your prospector became a window on the industry trends, right? Um, from our side, I said we work on several industries with you.
Mhm.
Also, we work on several regions in Europe, in Asia, also in North America. My simple question to you, as an expert in that business, is what are for you the most active industry, or what are the industry trends you see nowadays from your point of view? Which region are the more active one?
Yeah, that's a interesting question because we're such a global society right now,
Yeah.
right? And we find that the most active industries are the industries that the products change the most in.
Okay.
You walk in your store for and you see the new shampoo or you
Yeah.
see the new recycled plastics or the new nutraceutical, and so those are going to be the most trafficked
Active.
sites, right? And when we look
Okay.
at our robust analytics tool that we have, it's so funny. We find the top keywords are still based on making a product, right? So in personal care and cosmetics, the top keyword is shampoo. People are
Shampoo.
looking for a shampoo formulation still, yet it's
So we tend
changed. And it's
Correct. We tend to think that people or R&D people, they're purchasing manager, or they're experts from the lab, so they will do some extremely complex searches. This is the assumption we tend to do. And what you're saying is like actually they really look for what's the end product they are looking for to build, right?
100% because they're still trying to make a product, right? And but
Right.
it's making it today is very different. So starting point formulations are extremely important, yet they need to be focused on trends like finding alternatives,
Mhm.
looking for, no products of no ingredients that would be no-nos, if you will, and
Yeah.
they need to claim certain sustainability goals or carbon footprints. And
Correct.
so the type of information and the type of formulations that they're needing to make that air quote shampoo is different. And what is so interesting, and I'll tell you another key industry trend that I can say from my experience is that now everyone is helping with this formulation ship. And
Mhm.
the lines are blurred between the
Correct.
manufacturer, the distributor like DKSH, and the supplier. Everybody is helping and playing a role in helping these products to get to market more than I've ever seen. The role of distribution and the partnership with R&D is really, at an all-time sophistication level, that I would say.
True. And I have to say that you have been pioneer and your prospector with this enabling of formulation into your platform. And I was really together with my colleagues at DKSH inspired by the way you can find a formulation, the ingredient from that formulation, and from those ingredients, other formulations that were inside. I mean, it never stops helping people to innovate and to find out the right ingredients. So from what you say, there is a lot of maybe also replacement. Do you feel that
Mhm.
nowadays with the challenges we're facing in terms of sustainability in the logistic channel and so to find some replacement to former ingredients with new ones that are fitting with certain standards?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, our platforms enable uh, to find alternative ingredients for formulations as well as compare those ingredients. And that's really, really important because in today's day and age, what is okay today may not be
Correct.
okay tomorrow. So the transparency and the understanding of what to use when and how is at an all-time high. And that really is interestingly enough leading to the I guess pressure, air quotes, to
Yeah.
digitize and digital transformation of the industry. So it's like a domino effect.
Correct. Comes together, right? And talking about this the digitalization, you're saying that the you rightly say that the lines are blurred, right, between manufacturers, distributor, suppliers and also platforms like yours. From your approach and expertise, what are the digital trends you have identified in the chemical or within the chemical industry?
Oh, yeah. That's a fun question for me. I could probably just talk for an hour on this question. I'll just
We
touch
can
on
do
that.
another episode for
Yeah, right. So it's really good. Well, I think first of all, a lot of top-down directives from the board level down to say, hey, we need to transform digitally. I mean, look at
Okay.
you. Years ago, we didn't have a director of digital transformation in the chemical industry. And the mere fact and dedication that DKSH has towards that effort is amazing. Um, and then the other trends we mentioned before, AI. I was reading a Deloitte article on achieving the next frontier of chemical excellence, and
Yeah.
94% of leaders, Deloitte said, will be using AI, and it will be critical to the success of their organization. So it's really interesting, the transformation, because AI is not magic. It's not just we have AI. So you have to kind of think about what business problem that you're trying to solve with it.
All right.
And, whether it's digitizing your documents into actionable data or what have you. But it's definitely a trend that's coming. But I would just caution folks to use it as a tool and not a strategy.
Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, right. And then the other thing is that there's so many platforms. Our poor R&D formulator. I heard, I talked to a lot of R&D managers, and they spend more time training their team on the systems that they have rather than
Uh-huh.
making products. And so we have to really be careful that we are where our customers are. So whether it's you come to Prospector, that's great. Or we provide a product information solution management for you, that's great. As long as the data and systems are harmonized, and that's true for suppliers, distributors, and those manufacturers, to be sure that we are where they are and not all these thousand different platforms they have so we can make stuff, which is really going to lead to a data and systems connection. And so everything, as I was talking about, the lines are blurred,
Mhm.
but the systems need to be connected, the supply chains need to be connected, and most importantly, the data, from performance to
True.
compliance to sustainability, really.
Really good sentence to finish that answer. Actually, this is the biggest challenge, right? I mean, the data, mirroring the data. I think that on our industry, from manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, also platforms, we all of us tend to get our own data governance. Maybe we should start thinking about an industry level data governance, right? So that we talk about the same thing independently from the company you are talking to, right? But I
Mhm.
think that this is also, I mean, it's not only a challenge, but this is potentially also a struggle, right? That the companies are facing. I mean, you work with distributors, with suppliers, with manufacturers, so you see many companies in that industry. So your voice is precious. What I mean, from what you see, what you understand from them, what will be the main struggles or challenges that the companies are facing when they are trying to activate their digital transformation?
Yeah. That's a good question. And of course it varies by company, but by and large, I think it's confusion of what to do first. I need to digitize. What does that mean? What will have the
Mm-hmm.
greatest ROI? How can I do this? And keeping up with the ever-changing flashiness, it's become a buzzword. And so I think
Correct.
the challenge is taking a deep breath, backing up and say, what are my strategic goals? And our most successful companies start
Mm-hmm.
with the end in mind and have a measured pace at this digital transformation, and really work with a trusted partner like UL Solutions to help with their strategy.
Yeah.
And other things that we're seeing are a little less out of our control, like transparency. I mean, just raise your hand if you've had a trouble getting information on a raw material questionnaire, right? For example, right? But it's challenge, especially in food too, to get this information across the supply chain in a transparent way. And then the last thing I would say is resources, because in chemical companies now, I was saying before that we have positions like yours, which is great, but the evolving technology does require focus and elbow grease in order to implement. And so really dedicating the resources and the time really can then lead to efficiencies in that. And
True.
whether it's mapping of data from our lead generation tool into your CRM system, or mapping of data into a simulation software for that R&D. Like, it takes time, and you just need dedicated resources and a dedicated partner.
And I think that the experience and the legacy of UL solution is the best proof of it, right? Having this consistency through the time and always having time and resources to deliver powerful product. This is something, and I take your word, right? It takes time, and this is normal that it takes times to get a proper ROI and to really see the value of that transformation. So, I mean, just Pam, if you agree with me, just a very last and short question before we conclude our session. Um, yeah, let's talk to our auditors. Let's talk to our audience, and for the one which are listening to us, they are right now looking forward to start their digital transformation, or they are in the middle of it. From your opinion and from your different observations, what are the best path forward for chemical companies into their digitization journey?
Yeah, I think that the number one, getting started is of course step one, but
Yes.
understanding the problem that you're trying to solve, it sounds so simplistic, but most people jump into digitization without understanding really what they want to do other than say that they have a digital transformation strategy. And I think that together we work with companies to help build that ROI based on that problem that they're trying to solve. And really that is getting started and look around. I mean, it's amazing the amount of digital transformation alone that DKSH has had, and it's come with a methodical approach, and I think it's one to be copied for sure.
Thanks.
You're the
Thank you.
industry leaders in it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind words, Pam. And yeah, I think we completely connect with you. Having a plan, a long-term plan, and starting tomorrow, right? Starting is a step one. I think it's a very great sentence. It makes a lot of sense in our industry. Wow. Thank you so much, Pam, for sharing all of these precious insights from UL Solutions. What can we wish you at UL for 2024?
We wish you, if you're successful, we're successful. So you can wish yourself success.
Thank you. Great.
Uh,
So I wish it to you. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you a great year ahead in 2024. We keep in touch and talk to you soon. Thank you very much,
Thank
Pam.
you. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Digital Chemical Playbook podcast. Be sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your preferred platforms to hear more insightful stories and conversations around digital transformation. We always love getting questions and feedback from our listeners. Please reach out by email, performance.materials@dksh.com, or our social media.
Did you join it today? See you next time. Bye.